Welcome to Blooming Bids for Nantucket's Kids 2021 hybrid version. It is so good to have you here with us tonight, not just from living rooms, kitchens, and offices across Nantucket, but from Florida, New York, California, Texas, Kansas, and beyond. I'm Michael Kellerman, Interim Executive Director of Fairwinds. This is my first Blooming Bids, but as I've learned from so many dedicated souls who have made this event possible for 2 decades now, tonight is part of a long-standing tradition of gathering to celebrate flowers, horticulture, gardening, and the great Nantucket outdoors, all while raising funds to support the mental health and wellness of our island's youth. We skipped a year last year for reasons we all understand, but this year we knew 2 things were true. First, we wanted to respect continuing COVID protocols and to ensure safety of all involved. But second, we heard from many people that now, more than ever, we need our traditions. We need to continue the tradition of bringing light and hope to our community, and to find a way to reimagine this joyous and meaningful fundraising event in a new way to carry our traditions forward. So to carry this tradition forward, with the help of many hands, we planned this unique hybrid event model. So on behalf of our wonderful Blooming Bids Steering Committee, which I'll discuss in a bit, and all who have supported the event thus far and who will as we move through this remote event and towards the conclusion of our online auction, thank you for making this Blooming Bids for Nantucket's Kids so very special. This year's event is unique in another way too. We are dedicating this Blooming Bids in the memory of Barbara Jones, a Nantucket treasure who in her life supported Fairwinds in word and in deed, served as our advisory board chair, and lived an expansive, generous life as a philanthropist, a gardener, and a community leader. Tonight we celebrate Barb, and as you will hear from her family and others, we are so fortunate as a community for how Barb's created a legacy of philanthropy and service that will benefit Nantucket for generations to come. Blooming Bids has always supported children and adolescents on Nantucket. Originally, the event supported Mentoring Youth Nantucket. Now, the event has shifted to help underwrite the whole continuum of behavioral health care Fairwinds provides for youth across Nantucket. This year marks the 4th year that Blooming Bids has been at Fairwinds, and later in the event you will have a chance to encounter the ways Fairwinds serves the island's kids because of the kind of support generated from events like Blooming Bids. So tonight, we celebrate summer on Nantucket. We honor an island that goes all out for creative and beautiful gardens and horticultural glory of all kinds, from magnificent window boxes to roadside daffodils and other blooms, to headline-worthy gardens on every inch of our extended sandbar 30 miles out to sea. As you have seen leading up to this event, and we will have a special surprise to announce tomorrow as well, tonight our featured artist is Hafsa Lewis, whose creativity and spirit have popped up into many of our lives, and whose dedication to mental health is also inspiring. As you know, our online silent auction has been ongoing since 9 a.m. today. It is exciting to see so much activity on the site already. We hope you've been bidding already on all of these beautiful items that have been so generously donated to our cause. The one-of-a-kind planters, designed and donated by landscapers and gardeners as well as skilled hobbyists across the island, have been on view all day at the Bartlett Farm Garden Center, our gracious and generous partner for many years. Our numerous other non-planter items ranged from special items and experiences that you can only encounter here at Blooming Bids. We hope that those of you on island were able to stop by today at Bartlett's. If you weren't, however, or if you're logging on from off-island, don't worry. There's still time. The auction will end with the conclusion of this event. So let's continue with our program. As we move through the program tonight, you will meet some former clients, one of our therapists, and our featured artist, Hafsa Lewis. You will hear from our board leadership as well as some special artists who've agreed to lift us all up tonight. We will share in the special tribute to Barbara Jones as well. Now, I need to check on the items I'm bidding on tonight, so let's pause for a moment to thank tonight's sponsors and meet our steering committee, and I'll be right back. Hi again. So in this unprecedented time when our communities have been isolated, when the simple pleasures of gathering with loved ones is a challenge, and when the pandemic has increased the experience of fear and the power of stigma in all of our lives, we are also reminded that nature brings rejuvenation and rebirth. As we've moved through the spring and into the summer on island, in the last months we partnered with our feature artist Hafsa Lewis to bring some of that joy into the lives of those across the island through her signature installations and the simple celebration of the flower. Hafsa's dedication to mental health goes beyond her artistry though, and so tonight we wanted to take a few moments to shine a light on Hafsa's unique story.
My name is Hafsa Lewis, owner and founder of Hafsa & Co., and I am this year's Blooming Bids featured artist. I think what led me to mental health was always truly my passion for people and their stories. I've always been very interested in behavior and the way that sort of things process in our brain, so it felt very natural to go into a field that focuses on those things. So I did my undergraduate and graduate studies in clinical and counseling psychology. I was drawn to flowers really from a place of grief. I went through a really challenging time in my life, and flowers were sort of the non-traditional therapeutic modality in my life that I found to work a lot more than the traditional therapies. I heard a quote 3 years ago now that really resonated with me. It was that all flowers grow through dirt, and it really became a mantra for my life that something really beautiful can grow through something really dark and ugly. And I've just become really impassioned about sharing that with really anyone that needs to hear it, right? Because you have a lot of people that have stories that want to tell them, but it's challenging sometimes. So flowers and surfing were the two things that really healed me and helped heal me. And I just loved sharing that with other people. So I would say the greatest connection for me that I've found between flowers and mental health is that I feel that they really truly speak this universal language. You know, you could speak Spanish and Japanese and French and still understand the gesture of a single stem or a bouquet of roses. And I think that we use them to express remorse. We use them to express happiness. You know, we use them to send somebody comfort, to celebrate joy. These are really profound emotions that we all experience regardless of what language we speak or what color our skin is or where we live in the world. And I think that I've really, really enjoyed that part of both of my worlds, right? Like my science brain and my creative brain, and sharing those two things and people's stories by way of flowers. So Hafsa & Co. uses flowers to help businesses stand out and really make their mark in their industries using large-scale installs or by hosting workshops or pop-ups. And the nice thing about being local to Nantucket and having this as my home base is that many of our businesses are owned by friends or people that I know through other people. So it's really nice to be able to share that with them and have people popping around town and seeing Hafsa & Co. installs sort of just all around, which is great. One of the greatest joys that I have through working with Hafsa & Co. and other small businesses on the island is that there's a real need and demand and want for art and beauty and flowers. And so creating things for small businesses that have really struggled and suffered to stay alive, really, through the pandemic. It's like opening the doors in the spring and experiencing joy and this universal, right? Like this universal language I spoke about before. And it's really a gift to be able to give that to the community of Nantucket.
We are so grateful for Hafsa's dedication to Nantucket community. Stay tuned after tonight's event for some exciting Hafsa-inspired experiences still to come. Now, for nearly 60 years, Fairwinds has been here for this community thanks to the bold and courageous spirit of its founding community members, whose thoughts carry on today through the core of our mission. Fairwinds is here for anyone who needs our help, regardless of the ability to pay, insurance status, language spoken, or other barriers. We know that there is already significant stigma surrounding mental health, and COVID has only brought these barriers into higher definition. But regardless, Fairwinds is able to support our community in a multitude of ways through our continuum of programs. We couldn't do that without the dedication of many talented staff members. And so I'd like to turn it over to my colleague and friend, Fairwinds Clinical Director Amanda Wright, to discuss some of the ways Fairwinds puts hope into action every day.
Thank you, Michael. Good evening. I'm honored to be here. As Fairwinds Clinical Director, I could not be more thrilled to be part of this wonderful event that supports the services we provide to children on Nantucket. Our children are our future, and I think we can all agree that their well-being should be at the top of our priority list. At Fairwinds, we provide a whole continuum of care that benefits children and their families. The service lines that specifically target children and adolescents include psychiatry, outpatient therapy, and psych testing. We also provide in-home therapy, therapeutic mentoring, and therapeutic training and support, which require medical necessity and are part of the Massachusetts Children Behavioral Health Initiative. Though we can provide services via telehealth, the fact that we can once again see clients in person, both at the agency and in the community, will help us successfully deliver children's services. We are fortunate to have on our staff a triple board certified psychiatrist who can treat people at all stages of life and a developmental pediatrician. These two professionals can diagnose and provide medication management to children and adolescents, which is a tremendous benefit to our community. Like those above, provided to anyone in need, regardless of the insurance status or ability to pay. Our staff of professional master's level clinicians, as well as trained paraclinicians, work closely with children and families. We've seen a steady influx of children needing services since the beginning of the pandemic, and we want to be able to continue meeting this rising need. One of the areas we would like to expand into in the future is offering Children's Behavioral Initiative programs to youth who lack any insurance coverage or are undocumented. We are always looking to strengthen the safety net on Nantucket, and every donation helps us do that. Please support Nantucket's kids by bidding on our silent auction, or you can make a donation right here on our screen. Enjoy the rest of the event, and thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. After this next auction spotlight, it is my pleasure to pass the torch to our Fairwinds Board Chair, Chris Gagne.
Hi everyone. What an honor to be part of Blooming Bids in this new and unique format. This is Chris Gagne, and I am proud to serve as the chair of the Fairwinds Board of Directors. I believe in this organization, and in my role I get to see how vital Fairwinds is to the Nantucket community that we all love. It was nearly 60 years ago that a group of visionary islanders started Fairwinds. And they did this because they believe that everyone deserves care, regardless of their circumstances. This remains true today, now more than ever. Fairwinds clinicians and staff go the extra mile every single day to ensure that people on the island receive the professional mental health care that they need. This is regardless of their ability to pay, their insurance status, or any other barriers. As board chair, I am well aware of the agency's fiscal standing, and get to see firsthand how these gifts, grants, and other donations help fill in the gaps and keep us going and thriving. As I've said before and will say again, thank you all for your support. Today's fundraiser focuses on children and youth, our most vital resources to protect. It is our responsibility as a community to ensure the security, well-being, and stability of our young people. In honoring them with our support, all of us tonight are helping to ensure a bright future. We also know that there's more that we and our partners across the island need to do. You have likely learned by now of the important community assessment that is underway. We are excited to be part of launching this effort, which is bringing together many service organizations, government and public safety officials, community members, and other leaders. Together, we will identify the gaps in the system and begin to build a roadmap for positive change. I know that many of you are participating in this effort. So for the final time, I will say thank you for being here. And now I'm going back to the auction to check on the items I'm bidding on. I might have to raise my limits. Might I suggest that you do the same to support Nantucket's kids? Please enjoy the rest of the event. Be safe and be well.
Thank you, Chris. And I want to say how much I appreciate this opportunity and to the guidance you and board members have shown in this unique time. You know, one of the exciting parts of my role is I get to see and get to know the Nantucket community through the Fairwinds lens. And so now I would like us all to shift our focus to the wonderful soul who inspired so many in our community and across our world, and whom we are honoring tonight in this 21st Blooming Bids for Nantucket's Kids. So let's pause for a few moments and hear some reflections on the life and legacy of our good friend and a Nantucket treasure, Barbara Ellis Jones.
This event honors Barbara Jones, but the honor is entirely ours. Barb possessed a capacious heart. She was a connector of people and a philanthropist with a remarkable history of civic leadership and volunteerism.
So I think philanthropy for Barb was a lot more than giving financially. It was more about giving from her heart, of her time, and helping in whatever way she could to all the various organizations that she did contribute to. Fairwinds was certainly very, very important to her.
Her generosity to and advocacy for Fairwinds and its mission was genuine and profound, and in the last year of her life, she served as the chair of our advisory board. Transforming the lives of women and girls worldwide was one of her most vital causes. As a founding member of the Maverick Collective, she helped create a new philanthropic model aimed at ending extreme poverty by investing in girls and women. She spearheaded a project in Myanmar that made enormous strides in reducing gender-based violence. She was also a founding member of WANDA, a California nonprofit that helps lift single mothers out of poverty.
Barb was a very unique woman who cared passionately about making sure that the underserved and especially women got the help that they needed. And I think everyone will get to see in the video the Gather sign. It's something that Barb had hanging in her kitchen in California. And I think Gather says a lot about Barb. She gathered everybody together, and it was always fun and always enjoyable.
A devoted gardener, Barb also served as president of the Nantucket Garden Club. Her daughter, Carrie Jones, said, "Mom loved flowers and took great joy in watching them grow. Nurturing her gardens, her kids, and her communities was the biggest source of joy in her life." They are proud of their mother for dedicating her life to helping people live their best lives, and by working internationally to support social justice, creating avenues for people to access what they need, including mental health care, regardless of income barriers.
She was Mother Earth. She was a mother to everyone. And everyone loved Barb. It's understandable why. She was absolutely gorgeous, inside and out, from the very deep center of her core, of course, to her outside. And you couldn't help but love Barb.
Hello again. Now, I didn't have a chance to meet Barb in person, but by connection to her legacy, to her family, by hearing stories and remembrances from those who loved her and benefited from her spirit, and from the outpouring of words and support when we announced our intention to hold this event in her honor, I know I speak for many when I say, thank you, Barb, for the ways you continue to inspire us at Fairwinds and beyond every single day. Your legacy will continue to have a positive impact on the mental health of those who are the future of our community. And so we continue with our event tonight and our mission to raise funds for Nantucket's youth. Let's take another look at our unique and exciting auction items on display for you tonight. hello again. Sorry, I'm busy as I hope you are bidding on those items. And remember, in about 15 minutes, the auction will end. We'll make sure to give you a 5-minute warning, but as you continue to scroll through and bid, we are excited to welcome a special group to serenade you tonight with an uplifting ditty. Please welcome the gentlemen from the Cobbletones for a special performance.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, yeah. You say it's alright. You say it's alright. Say it's alright. Have a good time, 'cause it's alright. Whoa, it's alright.
We're gonna take it slow and turn the lights down low. When you move it slow, it feels like a moan. 'Cause it's alright, whoa, it's alright. Now listen to the beat and kinda tap your feet. Yeah, you got soul. Everybody knows that it's alright. Whoa, it's alright.
When you wake up early in the morning, feeling sad like so many of us do, hum a little song and make life your goal, and surely something good will come to you. 'Cause it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, now it's alright. Have a good time, 'cause it's alright. Whoa, it's alright. Everybody clap your hands and give yourself a chance. See, you got some. Everybody knows that it's alright. Oh, said it's alright. Someday I'm gonna find me a woman who will love and treat me real nice. When my love has gotta go, my love she will know. From morning, noon, into the night, oh yeah. And she's gonna say that it's alright. It's alright. Come on now. And it's alright. Have a good time, 'cause it's alright. Whoa, it's alright.
Everybody clap your hands and give yourself a chance. Yeah, you've got soul, not everybody knows that it's alright. Whoa, it's alright. I say that you've got soul, not everybody knows that it's alright. Whoa, it's alright.
Hello again, everyone. You know, as I've said, I'm the interim executive director here at Fairwinds. And while I have been thrilled to live on island throughout this year and get to know this unique and dynamic community of Nantucket, this faraway island 30 miles out to sea isn't my permanent home. It has been my great honor, however, to take the torch, as we say, and lead Fairwinds through this time of challenges and of opportunity. You know, in my time, I've grown to love this agency and this community. I'm particularly enamored with how this community has supported an audacious mission for 60 years now. To serve all who need support, regardless of the ability to pay, insurance status, language spoken, and the many other barriers to mental health services, is just that. It's audacious to me. This is a difficult mission to sustain, but I know that many of you share my opinion that this mission is critical now more than ever. This community and the wonderful staff of Fairwinds deserve optimistic, visionary, and audacious leadership. So Later this summer, as these long, golden, sunny days start to fade, I will prepare to pass that torch to a new leader for Fairwinds, a leader who is patiently waiting at this moment in the Zoom waiting room that many of us have come to know well throughout the pandemic as our place of work. So let's let Jason Bridges in, why don't we?
Hey, Michael. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. My name is Jason Bridges, and in September, I'll be starting my new role as Executive Director at Fairwinds. And I'm really looking forward to working with you, Michael, and the board and the dedicated staff at Fairwinds to get ready for this new role. I'm a wash ashore. I've been here for a long 21 years on Nantucket. And, I've always slept better at night knowing that Fairwinds is here. My background here in those 21 years, is, the first 10 was handing pizzas to the community on Friday nights, working at Foods. My wife and I have started a couple small businesses. I've been on the select board for 4 years and have been in different roles in nonprofits as an interim executive director and on a lot of many boards on the island. So I've come to appreciate the challenges and opportunities of what it takes to make a real difference on this island and in this community. And I'm also a father of a 3-year-old, little Eloise. And, you become a parent, you wake up and kind of look at the world a little differently. You're always thinking about the health and wellness of your kid. And that just translates over to the children in this community too. And I know, we can do more to create a better safety net for them on this island. So I bring a lot of different perspectives and experiences in my new role, and I can't wait to get started. But tonight, Michael, is about one thing.
And what is that, Jason?
Well,
Of course, tonight is about raising funds to support the mental health needs of Nantucket's youth. All of us can make a difference in our own way. After all, it's not the amount that you give that really counts.
It's the choice to give. So why don't you join me in making a gift to Fairwinds?
And me as well. Actually, why don't you join both of us and make a gift right now to support Nantucket's youth? Just click that donate button that you see on your screen at any time.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you. And Jason, as we think ahead to September together, I know that I passed to you an organization with an inspiring staff full of dedicated professionals and leaders, a generous and committed board, and a wonderful community of donors, grantors, and sponsors. So I just want to say that we all wish you the very best in this role.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for your service, and I'm really looking forward to coming on board at Fairwinds.
Excellent. Well, listen, Jason, I also want to just say personally, I couldn't be more excited that you are going to be the next executive director at Fairwinds. So again, we wish you the very best, and all of us are here to help you. But now let's return to Blooming Bids for Nantucket's kids. Okay, so we've entered the final stretch of tonight's event. This is officially your 5-minute notice. The online auction will close in 5 minutes. And remember, you can support Blooming Bids even if you don't win an auction item. Simply click on the donate button on your screen to make a donation to this event directly. We are inspired by the many ways that you give to Fairwinds. So as we approach the conclusion of the event, we have one special video segment left to show. I know when I wake up to face the day and all of the duties and responsibilities that I have at Fairwinds, I'm always inspired to do so by the tremendous colleagues and the way that they partner with children and youth every single day to make a difference. Blooming Bids is for Nantucket's kids after all, and so tonight we wanted to bring forward just a few examples of how the work we do, thanks to the support of this community, can truly help transform lives and promote mental health and wellness day in and day out.
My name is David Hayes, and I am an in-home therapist and an outpatient therapist at Fairwinds.
And I am Nora Harrington, and I'm a therapeutic mentor, therapeutic training and support provider, and the clinical administrative assistant at Fairwinds.
As an in-home therapist, I get to function a lot like an outpatient therapist, except I'm able to go into the home and work not just with the child, but with the child's parents, with any brothers or sisters or any family friends, anyone who's important in the child's life, and be able to work with him in the environments that he's most comfortable in.
And as a therapeutic mentor and a therapeutic training support provider, I do similar jobs to David, but I'm a paraclinician, so I work kind of under him and all the other in-home therapists as well. And I also work in the home. I can also go out in the community with the clients and their families and their friends, of course, as well, and just try and work on those goals that they're focusing on in the natural settings that they might be taking place.
The idea behind wraparound services is accessing all the natural supports that exist in the child's life. So not just with their family and with their friends, but with the broader community as well, So going into the school setting or any after-school programs and helping the child work on identified goals in that setting. To me, the most meaningful experiences are when I'm able to get into the home and speak with the parents and the client and really see what's going on and get everyone on the same page. And more often than not, there's a sense of relief from everyone involved that there's a direction, there's support, there's guidance, there's a plan. There's committed people on the ground.
I started this position during COVID, so I started at a time when all of my sessions were remote and virtual. And over the last few weeks, I've been able to integrate into in-person settings, going on walks outside and seeing the clients in person. And that's really been a remarkable change for me. And I see a lot of amazing effort with the families and the kids in just the enjoyment on their level, on their part, and also just the amount of time and effort you can see that the families are really putting into it. And I think it's really great to be a part of something that's so positive, and you can really see change over time, which is great.
My favorite thing about working for Fairwinds is probably my opportunity to be an in-home therapist. I really feel like in this position, I'm able to really make the treatment plan come alive, where we're literally able to take it outside of the office setting and into the community, where I'm able to work with the paraclinician who's on the same treatment plan, working with the child, with me, and to my eyes, there's no end in sight to the amount of what we can do, with the child.
Yes, and my favorite part is also that I would say on top of that is just how supportive the Fairwinds team is, and how we're all kind of in this learning experience together and are growing together, and we really challenge each other and expect a lot. So I think that can really benefit our work with the kids and the families by asking different questions. And in this position of paraclinician and outpatient therapist or in-home therapist, we're able to really bounce ideas back and forth and really get into how we can best help serve our families and serve our community.
My kids were going to Adams Camp, which was a special needs camp, and we met Liz Feeney there. And she was telling us about the CBHI, the Children's Behavioral Health Initiative, and how we could get resources for our son with autism. We started working with Michelle Meckler, who did play therapy, and we worked with Christy Wilson. So you had a therapist, then you had a therapeutic mentor for a while, and those services all encompassing were really, really important for us. And through that process of all these therapists working with Kyle regularly, they said, we think he had been diagnosed with autism, and they were like, we don't really think this is autism. We think this is something else. And so we had testing done, very thorough testing with Jefta Tossig Edwards, and she was amazing, and spent an entire summer in little 45-minute increments testing him, because that was all his attention span could handle. And she came back and said he does not have autism. He has raging ADHD. It kind of changed everything for us, because it changed the services that we got at the school, and we met with the school team, and we were able to get him out of a significantly separate classroom and into a more inclusive classroom with different supports that were really just what you needed, because that's when you started working with Mr. K.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty nice. I felt like I could relax, sort of. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's.
Do you remember what you did?
You
played with it?
Yeah. Well, later on, we usually played with toys, something like that. But
we were very grateful that Fairwinds was able to catch that and help us act on what the actual diagnosis is.
We were able to reset, right?
We really did.
We had him repeat kindergarten based on that diagnosis, and just have a redo. And because we repeated kindergarten, it was like resetting the clock.
It was certainly a revelation. We felt like that initial diagnosis just didn't sit right for some reason.
And we have a son with autism, so it's not like we're rejecting an autism diagnosis.
No. Yeah. It felt like if this is the road we're going down again with Kyle, then this is what we can expect. But things didn't quite seem to line up, and we were very grateful that Fairwinds is able to catch that and help us act on.
I would absolutely recommend.
Yes.
Fairwinds.
Absolutely.
And I have.
hesitation,
I've referred a lot of families there and suggested that they go seek counseling, and I've referred it for other adults, not even for children's program. People that I know in business or in other parts who might have been struggling in areas of their lives. I think there's a wonderful team over there, and I couldn't recommend them more highly.
Yeah, I mean, just to sort of underscore what Laura and Kyla both said, it's been hugely helpful knowing that these people are there to help us, and we've taken full advantage of all the services they have to offer, and we really appreciate their presence.
Hello again, everyone. Michael Kellerman here. For our last auction spotlight, I wanted to draw focus away from the planter and non-planter auction items that we have for you tonight. We are all inspired in different ways to be involved in Fairwinds' mission. Some of us here tonight are learning about the organization for the very first time. Some are veterans who have dedicated decades to serving this small but powerful agency. For me, I came to Fairwinds last September after many years serving mental health and substance misuse causes. I am not a trained clinician, nor am I a community service professional. Instead, I was inspired to join this field by a natural curiosity, as well as by loss. I lost my younger sister Carrie to suicide after a long struggle to heal from the trauma of abuse, and she passed away in 2013. Since that time, I have dedicated myself to help bring focus and resources to mental health issues and causes. When I think of the tremendous strides that our society took in the 20th century to improve physical health, a time during which life expectancies in many places doubled or even more, I also think about how a new age of discovery in brain science and mental health awareness could help so many people heal and enjoy more fulfilling lives. I think of this work, the work Fairwinds does every single day, as a new age of discovery with so much promise. That's what inspires me to give of my labor and my resources to support this mission. So instead of putting a spotlight on auction items, I wanted to encourage you to click that button on your screen that says donate and think of the many ways that you can support the work that we do at Fairwinds. A gift of $5,000 can help pay for several months of therapeutic mentoring for a youth on Nantucket. This unique and proven model helps support more innovative and intensive clinical services with wraparound care for the youth who are struggling in our midst. A gift of $2,500 can help pay for a month of intensive outpatient therapy for a youth on Nantucket. Outpatient therapy is the very nucleus, the hub of mental health care for many of our youth. Did I say that all you need to do is click on that button that says donate on your screen? I did already? Okay, sorry, I'll move on. A gift of $1,000 can help pay for 2 weeks of in-home therapy, a unique service offered as part of the Children's Behavioral Health Initiative that focuses on the child but also provides guidance for how the family unit functions to support the child in their treatment journey. A gift of $500 can help pay for one workshop provided by our dedicated clinicians in our schools for signs of suicide training, an important way to help our community support one another by being able to identify the signs of a youth who is truly struggling and know the best ways to get them immediate help. A gift of $250 can help pay for a month of self-care opportunities for one clinician. The work that we do can be very difficult and draining, and we learned, especially during the pandemic, then our clinicians had to work even harder to make a meaningful connection from across a computer screen. So to be able to step aside, to breathe, and to do something just for yourself is just vital. And a gift of $100 can help thank a member of our front desk administration team or a member of our second shop retail team who together provide not only the critical base of support for our mission, but also are the friendly, welcoming face of our organization to many that we serve. Again, thank you everyone for choosing to make a donation. As we approach the end of tonight's event, please know that every effort that you make to support Fairwinds inspires all of us to continue to serve this mission. Thank you again. Okay, this is it. The auction closes in 30 seconds. Before we roll the credits, I want to say a hearty thank you from Fairwinds on behalf of our board and staff and steering committee to all of the sponsors we celebrated tonight, to all of the donors of auction items and much more, to the wonderful staff team that helped make this event happen, and to all of you who choose to support this event. Thank you. Okay, the auction is now closed. As we say goodbye for now, a few things to remember. Remember that at Fairwinds, our work continues day in and day out, 365 days a year. Remember that it takes a village, and you are that village. And remember that simple acts of kindness make all the difference in life. So remember to check your email tomorrow as well. We'll send info about how we'll be celebrating our ongoing mission. The spirit of tonight's event will continue. Thank you for being here tonight, and good night.